Here we are. After 16 years of playing, I am officially changing a technique that I've been doing ever since I started. Let's talk about this. Think of modern shredders. And when I mean modern shredders, I mean people like Steven Toronto. I mean people like Rick Graham, Michael Romeo. Do you notice something with their right hand? Do you notice something with their alternate picking, aside from the fact that it's really good and really fast? This is precisely what I've been changing in my playing and how much better it's already made me as a player. So let's take a look at Steven Toronto real quick. So Steven Toronto is notorious for being extremely fast and efficient when he is alternate picking. Take a look at his right hand. Do you notice anything interesting about it? He's not doing as much arm movement as a lot of other players are doing. Take a look at Rick Graham real quick. Kind of does the same thing. Let's take a look at Michael Romeo. Now, Michael Romeo is anchoring his pinky, but he's still applying this very same concept that a lot of people are getting wrong with their alternate picking. The problem is when you use your arm to alternate pick, you're not going to get the proper angularity to change strings in a very smooth and accurate way. Let me explain. So Justin Halm, you must watch his video on speed picking. It's called The Ultimate Guide of Speed Picking. It's an incredible video that really describes the angle of the pick when you change strings. It describes things about our wrist, about our bone structure, and how the most important method of alternate picking is not this, but it's more like this. Because the angularity that you develop when you do this allows you to change strings in a much more accurate way. A lot of people are thinking, well, yeah, that's fine and dandy and all, and I already knew that. But if I use my arm and shake it, I can go faster. That's what I thought too at first, until I watched his video and studied all of these incredible players with their alternate picking. One thing that I've really understood is that this is the natural way that our wrist actually moves, and it actually can develop at a much faster speed than moving our arm up and down like this. For one thing, it's obviously not good to be shaking our arm like that because it's going to be really tense in our muscles, which I feel like it absolutely has been for me for a long time when I applied this technique. But for another thing, of course, is speed should be developed at a much slower rate in building your way up with a metronome. It should not be something where anybody can just go up and just shake their arm really fast. First of all, we're not going to be staying on the same string for a very long time. And second of all, using your wrist is going to be a much more accurate way, even on a single string. Justin basically explains really well that using your arm is just going to create nothing but bad habits, instability, and inaccuracy in your playing. And he gives a lot of examples of incredible and very technical players who know what they're doing. They're all wrist players. They are not arm players, okay? Whenever I hear arm players play, it's very evident because they're not really able to go across all these strings in a super fast and nice smooth fashion. Remember, the key is to play accurate and then play fast. You don't want to play fast first and then try to adjust the accuracy, because it doesn't work when you're shaking your arm. Now keep in mind, I'm telling you this and I've been playing for 16 years and it's only the last, 6 months. I don't remember when I discovered Steven Toronto, but when I discovered him, I noticed it right away that he wasn't anchoring his pinky. Even though, yes, you still can anchor your pinky, I think some people just prefer it. And right now, I'm still trying to play around and understand if anchoring the pinky is the best way to go. But I think because I'm so used to anchoring my pinky, it's going to make me, in my head, want to shake my arm. The good news is if you have been an arm player for a really long time, as Justin says, he also says that you're going to be able to use your wrist and develop that speed much faster because you just have so much experience playing the guitar already. And I've already noticed in my playing that using my wrist has already made a huge difference in my playing. You can check out this lick, for example. I made this little lick to kind of test it out a little bit and see how it feels when I'm especially string skipping. And honestly, it worked really well, so I'm really happy about it. If you want to check out the tab, it's on my Patreon at the Shred Circle is what I call it. It's where we all get together and we learn technique, music theory, all that stuff, live streams, It's a great old time, so you should check it out. I want to emphasize that musicians should always stay humble, and musicians should always be hungry to learn the newest technique and the newest advancements in their instrument, because as time goes, people find more efficient ways to do things. People find better ways to do things. And I think that this is a really great example. I remember watching a lot of players that I grew up with and seeing their technique, and I see a lot of arm shakers. So I'm going to make a ton more videos on how to adjust this from someone who was a arm player and who is now a wrist player, because now I kind of have both experiences, because for the last, like, I don't know, maybe 6 months I've been trying to make this adjustment, and it's been going pretty well so far. Well, guys, that's it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. I really enjoyed talking about this because it's something that's been on my mind for a while. And now that I've come forward with it and helping everybody with it, hopefully you guys can make that adjustment as well. So let me know what you think. Are you an arm player or are you a wrist player? Let me know.